Who's at the top of the food chain? Let's find out. David Smalley weighs in.
I think humans fear death because we realize the finality of it. I don't know. First of all, we don't know if deer or dogs or, lions fear death. We don't know their fears. We don't understand their brains enough to know if they realize it or not. But if they don't fear it, it's the same reason that a 4-year-old doesn't fear very dangerous roller coasters or guns. They don't know enough about it to understand the dangers, right? When you're 4, 5, 6 years old and you see a loop-de-loop roller coaster, you go, oh, that's fun. I want to ride that. But when you're 37 and you're at your cubicle getting CNN notifications that, someone was killed at a theme park, or that a roller coaster fell over, or that a carnival exploded, and that you start seeing, you develop a distrust for mechanical operations. And then when you stop by some kind of shady carnival and your kid's going, let's ride that, you're like, let's have some cotton candy and get the hell out of here, because you're more aware of those dangers. So if animals aren't afraid, it's about awareness and knowledge. I don't think it's fair to just insert God into that and say, because humans are aware that there is an afterlife. I don't think that's the case at all. In fact, if humans were aware of an afterlife and had knowledge of an afterlife and truly believed in God, there would be no reason to fear death.
So, yeah, and I actually don't. I truly do believe in God. I truly believe I've had personal experiences that have given me a lot of evidence. And so that's actually the source of my beliefs, those personal experiences. But going back to what you're saying as far as and I agree with you, actually, people are smart, and over time you develop these schemas. So just like you mentioned, when you're 4 years old, you don't have the schemas or the experiences on the roller coaster that would scare you, or the knowledge that you accumulate over time through different schemas and experiences, that the roller coasters might actually topple and something dangerous could happen. So I agree with you that humans have much greater brain capacity and ability to build up these memories like that.
Same reason, actually, same reason, if I can point this back to coronavirus, same reason why the 20-year-olds aren't taking the virus seriously.
You're right.
Haven't had loved ones, most of them haven't had loved ones in hospital or lost a husband to cancer. They're not old enough to experience that. So to them, it's like, so what? You get a cold, you get a sore throat, you cough a little bit and everything's fine.
You're
They
right.
don't understand the weight that this has on people who are more vulnerable. So they're not so aware. So they're partying on the beach instead of taking this seriously. It's the same concept. I think that animals, if they aren't afraid, that's why they're just not aware of how final it really is.
Yeah, and the other difference between us and animal, I mean, there's a lot of differences. Humans are exceptional in a lot of different ways. I know we have a lot of similarities to animals in some ways, and I would expect that in a God-given world that we would see animals show some sort of empathy, for example. But just to go back to this idea with human exceptionalism, we have the ability to produce language, and through language we gain memories. That's why you don't remember anything about when you were born or when you were just a toddler, prior to being a toddler, when you started learning words. You have no memories because you weren't able to piece together words to explain those memories. And that's why animals, they might have some reflexes and some behaviors like Pavlov's dogs did, but they don't have the kind of memories that we have that can piece together all of the information that's come together in a language. And so that's another great way that humans are exceptional.
I don't know that that's true. My understanding is that dogs even can retain up to 250 word meanings. Not that they speak it, but that they understand the words. And if you have animals, if you have dogs, try saying something around the dog that you never actually say to the dog, but that you say on a regular basis. Like if you say to your son, hey, do you want to go for a walk? Or, hey, you're talking to your son, or, hey, let's eat. When you start talking about dinner or going to get food, your dog will react in a certain way. Your dog is like, are we getting food? Because sometimes they toss me a little chicken nugget every now and then. And so they will
No, you're
react to
right.
things, that they'll react to things that you're not talking to them about, and they remember, they can recall that. Dogs do have object permanence. That's why when you leave, there are videos like cameras inside people's homes where around the same time every day, before the owner even starts driving up the road, like a Doberman will get up and start getting ready and getting excited. There's something about that time of day, whether a neighbor's coming home or it's about an hour after the mail's delivered or whatever it is. Dogs do sort of remember and pick up on patterns. And there's even a video online of a guy who went to the hospital and was really overweight and got into some accident or something, lost a bunch of weight in the hospital, shaved his beard, looks totally different. The dog walks up to him and is growling and is barking and is freaking out. The guy was in the hospital for weeks or maybe even months. And then the dog realizes it's him when he smells him. and it's the sweetest reaction of that whole body wag, whimpering, over the top excitement. We see dogs, greeting troops that come home after being gone for a year or two in Afghanistan. I mean, they definitely have memory. They definitely can understand language. Dolphins do the same thing. Dolphins have a very complex language. So do whales. I don't think we're all that special. In fact, if you line us up against other creatures, we kind of suck. We don't have the best eyesight. We're not the fastest. We're not the strongest. We don't have the most endurance. We don't have the fastest reflexes. There's a creature out there that's better at all of those things than us, right? So I don't know that we're all that great, to be honest.
See, I would, and I agree with you on the dogs. There's a thing, I mean, it's called behaviorism, and dogs do have certain reflexes and reactions. Like my dog, I have a beautiful little dog sitting right behind me right now, and she I mean, if I say one word, treat, she jumps up. If I say walk, she wants to go for, I mean, she knows these words, and she has memories of us probably going on those walks, but the animals don't have this ability to produce abstract concepts. They can't conceptualize, they can't reason. I mean, they don't have ability like we do to reason. And to the other thing we don't see with animals is that just the kind of language that we have, and this ability to really plan for the future and to consider our death and to consider our mortality and our spirituality and our origins and our purpose and all the kinds of stuff that humans do. I mean, you could say that, sure, a gazelle or a cheetah, they can all outrun us, but is that the metric that is exceptional, or could it be the brain capacity?
We fail in every category. I'm saying no matter what.
I don't think there's a smarter beast out there than the human. You think there's an animal out there that's smarter than a human?
Oh, for sure. It depends on how you define smart. There's several problems we can't solve that woodpeckers can. There's all kinds of stuff. There's videos of octopus getting out of its little enclosure, crawling across the floor, grabbing a mouse from another lab, eating it, crawling back into its own enclosure and pulling the lid back on to not.
And so that's smarter than a human who devised a rocket to get to the moon. That's smarter.
No. You're,
I mean, come on, David.
No, that's not what I'm getting at.
So humans have come up with cars and houses, and where's all the animal houses and the animal cars? How about an animal computer? Who designed my iPhone?
No. That doesn't make us smarter, SJ. That's a
yes, it does.
Misunderstanding. No. You're talking about accomplishments, right? There are certain
of course, that's a good metric for intelligence.
Well, hold on. We solve human problems. The octopus has no desire to be at the moon, right? The problems they need to solve.
You are cracking me up.
You can't, SJ. You can't walk up to a surrounding and blend into it by changing your skin color to hide from predators.
Yeah, but a human could go make some camo clothes and put them on and go hide in the, just like what the army does when they go into the military.
Not without other materials and other people helping them, and synthetics. And you're talking about years and years of developing. I'm talking about right now, change into your background so that you're invisible to me. An octopus can do that and you can't. It's about an adaptation to specific problems. Putting humans on a pedestal is a complete misunderstanding of the natural world.
See, I think that's one of the flaws of naturalism. I think that this idea that people who are naturalists and they want to constantly put us on the same level as animals for some reason. And I mean, we can just look at what we do and what we've made and the kinds of skills that people have. And we can say to ourselves, clearly we're different, we're exceptional. And so, I mean, whether or not we came here through the evolution as posited by Darwin or not, we're still exceptional. And so no matter what it is.
We're exceptionally dangerous. Okay?
We are that too. We also make bombs.
Listen, if we die off, if humans become extinct, everything else on this planet will flourish. Okay? If bees die, we're dead. If the trees go away, we're dead. If the ocean dies, we're dead. We are fragile, dangerous beings that are destroying the planet that we're living on. We are absolute idiots. Okay?
Hey, you might have me there. I agree with you. I agree with you on that part. So humans definitely can make bad decisions and we are destroying our planet. I completely agree.
I don't know a single other creature out there that is trying to destroy the world. But you think we're the smart ones?
Well, I guess it depends on, not all humans are trying to do that either. Of course, you're making an assumption that every human on this planet is trying to destroy the planet.
We're all participating.
So, we all have a carbon footprint to some extent.
Right. I would love to get back on the Bible verse if we could. I wasn't even going to get into Mosaic laws. I was going to get into verses